I made it out of the mud. I was slipping and sliding. Oh my gosh. If you are happy being in your house, and I have so many of you tell me that, looking kind of grim out there in the rain, and I'm looking at the road going, it's getting awful muddy out there. I love pumpkin pie. I really do. These little squares. Yeah. It doesn't have that much sugar in it. Hey, y'all. High five. High five. We're all doing really good, aren't we? We are. We need to celebrate ourselves more. Give a pat on the head and say high five, and good things are coming our way, aren't they? They really are. Good things are coming our way. I know that. And when you have to have faith, and when you believe that, and you say it with conviction that you believe that, good things are coming your way, and good things are coming my way. Let's get going with this. I've got some good subjects to talk about, okay? Okay? Let's go. Coffee. Want to share? I'll share. I did something different with my coffee. Cheers. Let me tell you. Lately, I haven't enjoyed the flavor. I opened a new package it's Starbucks. I think it's Veranda. It starts with a V. I forget the name of it. And I realized I don't like that flavor. I really don't. It's kind of strong for me, and it seems a little bitter. And the other day I made it too strong, and it actually made me nauseous for a good hour. So I'm a little shy of this coffee, but it's really expensive. I think it was like $13. So I'm gonna drink it. I really am. And I can't wait till it's gone. But what I did was I thought, aha, the 85 to 95% chocolate. Okay, it's not that expensive either. If you get kind of an off-brand like the store brand. Well, I went ahead and got a package of that, and I broke it up into little I broke it up into sections. It comes in like these little squares. Yeah. It doesn't have that much sugar in it, but this one was 85% chocolate. What I did was I took a square. After I made the coffee, I put my creamer in, and I put the chocolate in, and I just kept stirring it. And it finally dissolved because there's not that much fat in it. It's not like milk chocolate, okay? So, oh my gosh, yes, I get a hint of chocolate, of cocoa, but without, the adverse effects of eating like sweet chocolate, okay, with a lot of sugar. And the 85 to 92% chocolate cocoa, is really good for you. It's a great antioxidant. So cheers. Here you go. Try it and see if you like it. I like it. Oh my gosh. Yes, it's really adds something. So I'm really glad that I tried that and that I discovered that little trick. Yesterday's video showed me boondocking with my gal friends, okay? And then another one came too. So there were 4 of us, and we had a really good time. We were in the Coconino Forest, and we went into Williams, and I think it's called the Pine Restaurant, the Pine Lodge or something like that. They have pie. I mean, we're dealing with pie, okay? There must have been about 30 different pies that you could choose from. And they had a display. So we went in there for pie. It's a little expensive. I think it was with pie and coffee. It was almost $12 for a piece of pie. Well, the huge pieces of pie. Mine wasn't, because I've really been getting rid of the sugar. And I love pumpkin pie. I really do. Okay? And It has sugar in it. I know that. I don't mind the fat. I mean, the fat is good for us. But I'm sure it had evaporative milk in it, but it was very spicy. They made that pumpkin pie the way I make mine. Lots of cloves and cinnamon and allspice and all that stuff. A little bit of ginger. Yeah. So good. And it's really dark pumpkin. Pumpkin's so good for you. That's another antioxidant vegetable. So I had a piece of pumpkin pie, and my other girlfriends, they had, we're dealing with pie that stood about this high. It was like, yeah. One had peanut butter chocolate. The other one, I forget what hers was. And then my friend Rhonda, she had a cherry cheesecake. And it was big. It was big. So we just went in there for coffee and pie. And then we left and we went back to our camping area. Now, we're dealing with boondocking. Camping and boondocking, this is in my mind, okay, in my experience. Camping and boondocking, let me get my lips going, are different in the fact that boondocking is you're on BLM land or, state land, something like that, and there's no amenities whatsoever there. None. There's like a dirt road you go to get there, and you find a spot and you park. Okay. And you can usually do it for 14 days, or I don't know how long, maybe is where I'm at. Maybe, I don't know what the limit was where I was. Okay. Well, for camping, I enjoy camping more because I can drive in. It's a road that you can drive in, and there's a road, and your parking spot is on asphalt also. So you have an asphalt or cement place to park your vehicle, okay? And then if you want to put a tent up, you go out into the dirt and you put your tent. But you also have a picnic table. You have a grill, a charcoal place that some sort of a pit that you could cook in or make a campfire. If you're allowed to have campfire at that time. In Flagstaff area, you're not, because it's been so dry. Yeah. The risk is high. They have high. So that's camping. And then there's boondocking where there's nothing. You just find a spot, you're parked in the dirt. Wow, guess what happened? I had a good time. And when we got back from getting pie, I actually put my hammock out. So, yeah, it started to rain. It started to rain. Monsoon is here. It's here, everybody. Well, in Flagstaff, yes, and I've heard that it did rain in Tucson also. But it's raining right now. Well, not right at this moment, but it was raining just a minute ago. Yeah. So, I've got... yeah, we got raindrops everywhere, okay? Yesterday, I was ready to exercise. Well, Rhonda and I went into Flagstaff. We wanted to get a few groceries because I figured I'd be there all week. And I didn't know how long I would stay there. But I was having a really good time, meeting new girls, everything. Well, I don't know. When we got back from Flagstaff, it really started thundering. So I had to pull my bins in. Now, one of you asked me that when you saw the video yesterday, you said, I didn't know that you had those totes. Where were you keeping those totes? They're my bins right here. I have 3. I've mentioned that so many times. 1, 2, 3. This is a bigger one. I keep them here. It's by the sliding door that I can go in and out of. I can't go in and out of this sliding door because this is a dresser. I'm not going to move that, okay? But you asked, where did those totes come from? Right here. These are the 3 bins. When I'm camping or I'm boondocking, I will put them out. I have a tarp. I lay a tarp down, and I put them on top of it. Now, if I have a bug spray, I know a lot of you don't like using bug spray, but I don't want bugs getting into my bins. And then when I put them back in here and take off and go, I don't want bugs crawling out and crawling on me. So I do kind of spray the perimeter of my my tarp. So if they're going to crawl in, they're probably going to die, okay? So anyways, that's that. So I had to bring my bins in, and I had to bring in my hammock. I didn't want that getting all wet. And then I had to, if I would have to store it, then I have to store it all wet. That's not good. So, well, the day kind of wore on. I was so sleepy. I didn't sleep good that night. And that little voice kept saying, pack up and go. But I didn't want to seem wimpy. I didn't want to say, oh, she can't handle a little bit of rain. But I will tell you, eventually I took off the screens, those cloth screens, and I just went over and told Ron, I said, I got to go. I want to go work out. I can't work out. I can't do any exercising out here if it's mucky. I mean, how am I going to do that? And I do like to be at the gym. I do every day. I like to do things. So, and there was nothing else I could do. What else was I going to do? I could go into Rhonda's Class C. It's really nice. She's got a table. And we did spend some time yesterday chit-chatting, drinking tea. Well, I can't stay there all day. And I'm just sitting in my van, can't exercise, looking kind of grim out there in the rain. And I'm looking at the road going, it's getting awful muddy out there. So finally, I took off my screens and I went in and told Ron, I said, I'm leaving. And I want to go because I want to go work out in the early morning at the gym like I normally would. And, okay. Yeah, I said, I'll be back tomorrow. Well, I took off. Oh my gosh. The road, it was worrisome. I was slipping. It was slip and slide. I thought I might not get out of here. In fact, I might get stuck on the road. Somebody's going to have to yank me out of here. And my tires were going, I was kind of sliding like this. And, yeah, I haven't experienced that for a long time. As I went, it didn't seem as bad. So I'm like, I just got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. It was around 2:30, 3 o'clock. And then I was getting emergency alerts that there would be flash flooding. And I thought, I'm getting out just in time, right? And finally, then I got I had to go through the BLM and the forest, and then I got onto asphalt, and I was like, yes, I made it. Well, I wanted to get gas. It was a good price, $3.39. And so I got gas, and then I headed on the Highway 40, and I headed towards Flagstaff. And it was dark looking. The sky was turning darker as I was driving. I think I got out just in time. Now, the other gals, they're used to the boondocking. They'll probably just sit there. And then, of course, Rhonda has the Jeep. So she can probably get out easy if she needed to get the girls out to go get whatever they needed. But they'll probably sit there and they'll wait it out until it dries up. And I hope it does. But I know monsoon season and it's going to keep getting wet, but they can make their own decisions. For me, I'm glad I listened to the little voice and got out of there. So I am in town and I slept wonderful last night. I felt safe and I slept wonderful. And that's my story. That's my boondocking story. Now, I told him I'd be back, but there's no way I can go back. It's still raining. It's going to rain on and off all day. So it's only going to get worse out there. So there's my advice, and there's my explanation of one of the reasons why I don't boondock as much, especially during monsoon season. So, yeah, there's my story. I also want to talk about being a nomad and getting going. Let me just say this about that. If you are happy being in your house, and I have so many of you tell me that, they said, well, I love watching you, and I love what you got to say, and I love your inspiration. I love when you kind of go off the subject of being a nomad, and I love all your material, and thank you so much. Thank you all for watching and for being a loyal viewer. If you're new here, I'm Minivan Lee, by the way. Yeah, I guess you figured that out. This is the Minivan Lee show, and I live in my minivan, and I have for 7 years. And just from listening to what I've already said, you probably realize I don't do a lot of boondocking, unless it's maybe in Quartzsite. I do love to boondock in Quartzsite, and I will be there this winter. I'm actually really looking forward to it, yeah, because I wasn't there last year. So I love boondocking out there. It's not, and it's not, it doesn't create, well, unless it rained, but it's not going to out there, but really muddy. Here, I'm in the forest, and we're dealing with dirt and mud. In Quartzsite, we're dealing with caliche ground. It's sort of like, can be sort of cementy because it's so dry, okay? So, yeah, I'm Minivan Lee, and I have gotten a lot of letters from you and comments that I love watching you, but I'm happy in my home because I need a home. I don't think I could do it, and that's great. Also, I live in a home, I own it, and my mortgage is paid for. That's great too. So this isn't for everybody. We all don't have to go. Okay, we all got to go get in a van, and we got to go traveling in your van. You got to go live in a van. So, but my issue is a lot of, especially seniors and young people. If you're young watching this, welcome. I love young people. I'm young at heart, and I have a really good time with young people. I can relate because I'm a kid at heart too. I'm a child at heart, and that's why one of the reasons I feel like I sort of grew up with my children as they were growing up. We did a lot of the same things. We listened to the same music. I stayed current with music. I stayed current with movies. I stayed current with fashion, and stayed current with just having a younger heart and younger ideas with an open mind, and I'm flexible. There you go. So if you're young or you're older, it's okay. But if you don't want your assets, your money, whatever your assets are, your money coming in, you don't want to spend it on rent, then that's where I come in. I can show you how to do this and do it in a comfortable way. I mean, this is comfortable. I've got a lot of room, and all of my seats are out, even my passenger seat. So I've got a lot of room here, and I sleep right here. And it's a good life for me. Now, I do a lot of traveling, and I stay in the city a lot of the time. But I also love to camp, which is coming up. I've got a big extended camping trip coming up in just 4 days. So you'll see a lot more footage of my camping. And you got to see me boondocking again. I haven't been boondocking, oh my gosh, in, a year? Because I didn't go to Quartzsite last year, so boondocking. And I stayed my entire winter. I stayed in Tucson, and there's not a lot of BLM. In fact, one of the major BLM areas right outside of Tucson, it's been fenced off. So, and I've mentioned also, I can leave the link for that video, is that the rules have changed. They did an executive order for BLM. They've changed the rules. And there will, because of this, there will, over time, be less and less BLM. Not all, though you don't have to worry, not all. I'm not trying to scare you, but there will be less. Because they'll be closing it down. They're going to be using it. You can purchase, I believe, or apply for a certificate, an agreement that you will be restoring that BLM land. And because BLM is used for all kinds of stuff. It's for recreation, like nomads use, or it could be for energy, for drilling, or putting up solar panels, or putting up the those great big fans, those great big windmills things, or it could be for conserving for wildlife, things like that. Well, they're going to be shutting down BLM here and there in areas and using it for different purposes. There'll be less recreational use for BLM coming up. But I don't really do BLM too much. And I doubt if quartzite, because theirs is so important there for, I mean, who knows, but there's buku BLM land right outside of quartzite, big time. And it's the big gathering. It's sort of like the Burning Man, only different, you know. RVers, vacationers, nomads, schoolie groups, all kinds of groups, like the escapees groups, the RV groups, they all descend on quartzite in January every year. And it's been going on a long time. And of course, we know the RTR from Bob Wells. But I will tell you that in the 90s, way before Bob Wells was doing it, my parents were had a fifth wheel, and they were out in quartzite. They remember quartzite very well. This was before the RTR, you know, but this has been going on a long time in quartzite. So I'm looking forward to it. But for now, it's summertime. In Flagstaff, the monsoon is going on. It just started. And they need the water so well, so much. So that's what's going on with me right now, okay? I'm getting ready to go into the gym, and I'm getting ready, my thoughts, making lists of what I need to be on a more extended camping expedition. The last one was only 3 days. Well, this one's going to be 9 days, so I'm kind of pretty excited about that. And let's see what else is going on. I got my new coffee system with using the 80 to 90% cocoa chocolate. And I made it out of the mud. I was slipping and sliding. Oh my gosh, that was so, it was worrisome. It wasn't scary because I knew I wasn't going to die. But I thought on this dirt road, and it was becoming mud, that I might need to sit there for a while and need to be pulled out. I mean, yeah, that would have been a drag, so. And then I alerted my gal friends that I was slipping and sliding, so with the bigger rigs, you're going to probably have to wait until it kind of dries up a little bit. But if it keeps raining and keeps it moist, I don't know. Oh my gosh. So, I love you guys. You know it? If you want to support me, go to minivanlee.com, click on gifts, and in any amount. It just keeps me going. It's sort of like Patreon, but I get 100% of everything. Now, I do have the book, How to Live in a Minivan, the Minivan Lee Way. For those of you, we talked about, well, you're happy in your home. You would not give up your home. Your mortgage is finished. You own this home, right? But you might want to do this in a part-time basis that you don't want to pay for, like hotels. You can get a minivan and you can live in it and travel in it. It could be your camper van, okay? So the book is really good for that, to tell you how to do all of that. And please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. And that supports me too. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for spending time with me. Okay? Bye now. I love you.